Welcome back to the Game Reconize Game Podcast. And this one right here, this one is super special to me. This is a brother that I met, I don't know, maybe around 2018, 2019. He's just a
Was it that long ago?
It was that long ago, bro.
Oh my goodness,
It was that long ago, bro. It was before Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, it was definitely because I remember
that.
playing Blackout with you.
Yeah,
I do remember playing Blackout.
So we did Blackout, but I've known this person for such a long time. This person has been such an inspiration to me. He's one of them ones. He be putting that shit on, as you can see. What he's wearing today. You know, something light.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? The pride of El Paso.
El Paso, Texas, man. The kid.
Dante, a.k.a. FaZe Santana. My brother, thank you for coming on.
Appreciate
Welcome to the Game Reconize Game Podcast, bro.
Appreciate you having me.
Like I said, this one is super special to me. Like, you were actually the first person that I hit up when I decided to do this podcast.
Really?
So we've been trying to work this one
out. I feel bad because
it's, bro, you're busy.
It was tough to get me on this thing.
It was, but you're busy. You know, and the reason why I chose you first between him and you, but more specifically you, is the reason why I'm even doing a podcast.
Really?
And the reason why is because, like, I saw you be fearless with changing lanes. You know what I mean? Like, you went from a COD content creator to becoming a content creator.
Yeah.
And it inspired me to be like, you know what? This brother can do it. Let me step out on this limb and let me try to do this myself.
Damn, he's really gassing my head.
Nah,
right
it's
now
not. I'm not even gassing.
All I do is eat food and do food reviews, man.
but I look at it like this, like, you know, stepping out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right. Stepping out of what you're normally used to try something else and being fearless about it is an inspiration to me and to the people that watch you.
Yeah. No. And that's the big thing with these podcasts, man. It was hard to get me on because I get so nervous when I get in front of the camera and have to talk.
Right.
Like, if y'all know me, I'm not the best talker. Even though it may look like that behind, like, you know, the streaming, camera, I am a terrible talker.
Hey, bro, you know what's so funny? Like, when I first started doing the podcast, I realized that it's like you said, like, sitting in front of a camera talking to people that's like not in front of you is different than actually sitting down and trying to hold a conversation. And I didn't realize how hard it was to be able to control a conversation, to keep a conversation going. So like, it's been a learning experience for me too.
Yeah.
And up until probably like the Jay interview is where I finally feel like, okay, I kind of feel like I know what I'm doing. And, you know, it's been a little bit easier. Yeah. A lot of people know who you are, FaZe Santana, Dante. But I want to get started in the beginning. You know what I mean? You're from El Paso.
From El Paso.
The oldest of two, right? You have a little sister.
Yeah, I have a little sister. She's like 18 years old.
She's 18 years old.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Right. So I want to get started there. Being in El Paso and being the older brother, can you describe what it was like growing up in El Paso?
El Paso, man. Big Hispanic culture.
Okay.
I grew up in the northeast of El Paso. Pretty nice neighborhood. So I'm not even gonna cap on that. I wasn't from like the hood or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no, pretty nice neighborhood. Had a great family. Being an older brother, I mean, it's just, I mean, you gotta be there for your younger sibling.
Right.
You know, anytime they need you. So.
Right.
I mean, I went to a good middle school, Nolan Richardson.
Okay.
Played all the sports, basketball, football, baseball, soccer, growing up and stuff like that.
Right.
But I mean, I didn't really, you know, have a hard childhood.
Okay.
Unless I was getting in trouble by myself, which is very rare. But it was just mostly my grades, bro. My grades was holding me back from doing a lot of things.
I can imagine.
And by a lot of things, I mean gaming.
Right.
Bro, every time I got like a bad grade, give me your stuff. And it was mainly my PlayStation and all that. But I mean, it was pretty easy.
It was pretty easy? Okay.
Yeah.
So you said that, you know, where you were from, it was a large Hispanic community. What was it like being a Hispanic-American in that community? Because you don't speak Spanish.
I don't speak
Spanish. So was it hard? Was it hard, like, communicating with people back then?
Nah, not really. Mostly my family, you know, they all speak English, and even a lot of El Paso speaks a lot of English, so it wasn't very difficult at all.
Okay.
No. Especially, like, when I went to high school, I went to an all-black high school.
Okay.
I went to a high school called Andrus.
Okay.
And there was, you know, Hispanic culture there, but it was very, you know, Prominently black.
Okay. So you went to a predominantly black school in high school.
Mm-hmm.
You played all these sports. Because I know, like, I'm an older brother. I'm an older sibling. Did your parents ever make you take your sister everywhere? Because that's what my mom and my step-pop used to make me take my brother and sister everywhere.
In high school? Nah, bro. Like, when I was a freshman, like, I was just doing, like, sports and then playing video games pretty much. I remember one time I was playing video games so much, my friends tried to get me to go outside. Two of my close friends, KJ and Naum, they went to my house. They walked to my house, said, "Yo, let's go outside." I'm like, "Nah, I'm playing Modern Warfare 3, bro. Leave me alone." Like, and they beat my ass, bro. They literally jumped me in my room till I went into the bathroom and cried, bro, because they really beat my ass.
Damn.
That's all I was doing, man.
Just gaming.
Yeah, and then I really wouldn't go anywhere unless it was like with the whole family. So I didn't really have to take my sister along or anything like that.
So you speaking about gaming, and I do want to get into the gaming thing. And it's a question that I like to ask everybody that is a content creator in the gaming space. Can you remember the first game you played, or like what game was it that really got you into being a gamer?
The game that really got me into being a gamer would probably be the Metal Gear Solid series. I don't know if you're very...
of course.
Yeah.
MGS1
Actually,
on PlayStation 1?
I think you had an alert on your stream that was like Metal Gear Solid or something like that. But Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation 1, me and my cousins would play it all the time. And we didn't have a memory card. So we left that thing running for days, bro. We didn't want our game to be, restarted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was the earliest memory I have of like playing video games. But if I want to get into like trying to be serious about video games, it was like probably Modern Warfare 3. That's when I joined or Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. That's when I was joining like clans and stuff and competing in game battles on the weekends and stuff like that. So
so Metal Gear Solid is a great game to get started. That was one of my absolute favorite games on the PlayStation 1. It was actually a Nintendo game way back in the day.
My dad showed me that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it came to PlayStation 1, and that's one of the games that got me kind of into gaming as well, like MGS and like Final Fantasy and all of those games. Those are some good games. So you started playing COD around MW2, MW3.
No, wrong.
Okay.
I started COD. My first ever Call of Duty was Call of Duty Finest Hour. That was on the PS2, I believe.
Okay.
PS1 or I'm pretty sure it was PS2.
Okay.
It was like the first Call of Duty to ever come out.
Yeah.
And I continue to play every Call of Duty
since then.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're kind of like an anomaly, because a lot of the people that started playing COD started playing around MW2, MW3. Myself, I think it was Call of Duty 2.
Call of Duty 2
is the one that I started on, way before like, we had this online stuff. You know what I mean? I was just playing. It was when it was just campaign.
Well, Call of Duty 2 did have online.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It did.
Maybe I don't remember.
It did. And you know what? All the snipers were one shot, so.
Yeah, you're right. Not like what we got going on today. Man, so Call of Duty 2, like I said, so I didn't even know that it actually had multiplayer. So can you remember like when you started playing multiplayer and actually taking it seriously?
I think it'd be Call of Duty 4.
Okay.
COD 4, yeah.
COD 4.
That's when I started, actually, playing online and stuff. The funny thing about that is I had COD 4 when it like first came out, but I didn't have online. I wasn't one of those kids that had online multiplayer off rip. I would always go to my cousin's house when they had online, and I would play there. But at my crib, I would play the campaign. I played the campaign about 8 times.
Oh, man.
And it was crazy because my imagination was running wild. I would act like I was playing online in campaign.
Really?
Yeah, I would act stealthy and all that and pretend I was going on a kill streak, try not to die or whatever. But yeah, that's how the COD 4 game was for me. But then I got online and I was going crazy. If you guys know, M16 red dot stopping power was the most overpowered thing in COD 4.
Oh, 100%.
One burst.
And I was going to ask you what your favorite gun was, but you kind of told us M16, bro. That gun was crazy in COD 4.
Insane.
Okay. So, you playing around about that time. You got online. And then the first time I remember seeing you with K, Korean Savage for people that don't know. And you had a really, really special relationship with him.
Very
Describe what your
close.
relationship was with him. And the reason why I ask you this is because, like, I feel like that dude doesn't get his due for the amount of hours that he puts in, for the amount of consistent content that he puts in, year in and year out, to be grinding the way he does.
That man, I mean, he was like number 1 in the leaderboards for like 3 straight CODs. It was crazy.
Right.
But no, I was actually a fan before I became real close friends with him.
Right.
I would always watch his streams, his YouTube videos, all that. But the way I got, close to him, I remember I was lifting a little bit at the time, and I hurt my shoulder, and I didn't want to sleep because every time I slept, my shoulder would hurt. I would have to like literally sit up and sleep. I couldn't lay down. It was something in my shoulder.
Right.
Well, at the time, I believe this was World War II. This was World War II. And he had opened his Discord, and he was letting like people play with him. And I joined in on a game with him. And the first game I ever played with that man, I dropped a double V2 rocket. Ooh. Never done that before in my life, bro. Right. I think I was using a PPSH or something like that, but it was insane. And he was like, we should play more. We should play more. And I was like, I bet.
Right.
And then it just continued to grow, and we got really close.
Yeah, because at one point in time, like, you guys were like super, super close, best friends. Like, you guys were hanging out. Well, not necessarily hanging out in person, but hanging out every single day.
Every day, playing Fortnite, all that, Call of Duty, like on the phone. Like it was a great, friendship.
Yeah, it's funny because like I never knew what his name was. You were like the only person that was calling him by his first
Michael.
name. And he didn't like people calling him his first name, but he didn't mind when
he didn't mind when I called him his first name. He would call me Dante.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we started calling you Dante. Can you remember like around that time in World War II, who were some of the other content creators that you were like kind of like not necessarily fans of, but people that you like looked up to and that was inspiring for you?
Definitely Chris, aka Swagg.
Yes,
I was watching. Other than that, not really anybody, bro. To be honest.
Okay.
To be honest,
I feel that because like when I first got into COD, like the first person I ever subscribed to was Marka J.
Yeah, I remember Marcus J's BO3 videos were crazy.
And then I subscribed to like Swagg. Like those are the first 2 people I ever subscribed to. Marka J was already like super big.
Yeah.
Chris was like maybe like 7,000-8,000 strong back at that time. So I've been, I've been
OG.
I'm a triple OG. I'm a triple OG. So Chris has been, very influential into your life.
Very. Yeah.
And so I remember a time like when K3 had brought you into the Discord, and that was like the first time I actually spoke to you. When you used to sit in Discord all like hours upon hours.
I don't think people understand. K3 is like the beginning of everything that happened
for you
with me, like meeting you, Chris, Jay, like Raid, Brad, Green Goblin,
bro.
All of them dudes. The first time, Dismo, he was the start of it all.
Yeah, that's the same dynamic I have with Chris. Like he was the start of just everything for me. You were playing Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, COD 4, World War 2, and then we come to Modern Warfare 2019 is when like things really started popping off for you. You know what I mean?
I mean, you remember them late night, ground war vibes,
bro. We would be on for hours
and hours,
straight
trying
up
to go for nukes,
just trying to go for nukes, bro. And even like we would get off the game, and because we were all so close back then, because it was like more of a community back then, bro. We would get off the game and just sit in Discord for hours, just talking, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Those are some excellent times. Excellent. And I feel like Call of Duty, where it's going now, and I'm not even talking about Warzone 2. I'm just saying just like as far as like community, like I don't feel like we'll ever have community like that anymore.
Nah, man, it was a different time back then. You know,
it really
COVID
was.
and stuff. Like everybody was just gaming.
Yeah,
Everybody was
bro.
just vibing and gaming, bro.
Yeah, bro. We really were vibing back at that time. For real vibing back at that time.
Take it for granted a little bit.
Yeah, low key, I think we do. You know what I mean? Because like everybody was home, everybody was just hungry. You know what I mean? We were just hungry, and this is before like tournaments ever started being a thing.
Yeah.
And people really started focusing on the things that could, build themselves, rather than it be community. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it just, we'll never see another time like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, shit, if they got something cooking up in them labs, we might.
Yeah. Hopefully. I personally, bro, I haven't played COD in so long.
I'm being 100% honest. I wouldn't mind another lockdown, bro.
Hey, I say that all the time, and not on no like I hope people get sick.
Yeah, no.
But
yeah,
like we it would be great to have another situation where people had to be at home.
Yeah,
where they can just kind of watch streams and help your communities grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hope for those days, again, not for anybody to get sick, but just to be able to like get back into building a community.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And then around that time, like you said, you met Chris, and that really kind of puts you on the trajectory that you're on today. Describe what your relationship is like with Chris, because like from the outside looking in, I mean, I know personally, but from the outside looking in, you guys seem really, really close.
No, yeah, that's like a brother to me, bro. I owe a lot to him. Him and FaZe Clan, have changed my life, bro. I would not be sitting here in this position talking to you if it wasn't for the boys and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's funny. I always I'm tuned in, bro. There's two clips on Twitter, or two clips that I've seen that are my favorite clips of all time. The first one is Tan when he's talking to his mom, talking about hanging from the ceiling. Hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, I gotta roll that clip, bro.
We'll put that in. Hanging from the ceiling. That's like one of my all-time favorite clips. And the second clip is a clip of you and Chris. Can you imagine which one that I'm thinking of? It's probably one of the funniest clips ever.
If it's me and Chris,
yeah,
I'm thinking, and it's the first thing that comes to my head. Is it when I told him I would torch his shit?
No, but that one was good too. That one was good too.
I feel like we need to explain that after I just said that.
Okay, so go ahead and explain, because that's kind of crazy.
I think we were talking about if we were shorties or something like that. If we were girls.
Right.
And I go, Chris, if you were a girl, what would your name be? And then he'd be like, he said something like Christina or something like that. And I said, Chris, I'm not gonna lie. If you were a girl, I'd torch your shit. And that's how all that went.
Yeah, that's so funny. That just goes to show how close you guys are, to be able to say that. But the clip that I'm thinking of is when you're like, "Oh, Chris, smell this."
Oh man, that's a recent clip.
Yeah,
that's not even a long time ago.
But that's one of my.
Oh my goodness!
Where you kissed him on the forehead, bro. You got him so good with that, bro.
I've tried to get him with that, like, cause he's a very forgetful person.
Right.
I try to get him with that, and then he just doesn't fall for it. But yeah, does this smell right? And he goes. And I just kiss him on the forehead, bro.
And there's nothing he could do, because he's like, damn, you got me. Bro, that is some of the funniest content in the world.
Nah, it's just some things you think of on the fly, man.
Right.
It just makes for great, clips, and it brings a lot of views and interactions. And so I like doing that while he's in there, and I be bugging him and stuff.
Right. So I wanna ask you, getting back into gaming, what made you decide to kind of stop? Well, you didn't necessarily stop, but kind of put Call of Duty kind of on a back burner and decide to become more of a content creator.
I think I really had like a talk with myself and didn't see Call of Duty videos going anywhere for me. Mm-hmm. I know I had like a couple, kind of like do good, but nothing was really, popping, right? And I was like, from a viewer perspective, am I going to look at Santana's class setups, or am I going to look at Swagg's class setups, who's better than Santana, who has a fan base already built? And I was like, I got to try and do something else. And I think I know where you're going with this. Are you talking about like when I started, talking to the porn stars?
Well, not only that, but just different content in general. But I'm definitely going there. I'm definitely going
I've been
there.
asked this on every podcast.
You got, bro. We got it. Like we got to know because that's
yeah.
such a different lane to go in from. Not even just from COD, but just a different lane in general.
Yeah,
to switch from video games to talking to adult film actresses. So if I say the name Violet Myers, what's the first thing that
definitely
popped into your
rings
head?
a bell.
Yeah,
definitely rings a bell. No, she was probably the second person I hit up to actually be in a YouTube video with me.
Right.
First one was a close friend of mine. Her name is Azra.
Okay.
She does like OnlyFans and stuff like that. So
Okay.
we did a video where I took an OnlyFans model on a date gone right.
Right.
And the video fucking banged. It got like over like 200K or something like that.
Right.
So I was like, let's see how big I can go with this.
Right.
So, I got the verification on Twitter,
You
the
did.
verification on Instagram. And I was just
that blue check, bro, get you in a lot of doors.
I was just sending,
Sending that
would
shit.
love to have you on the channel.
Right.
Let me know if you'd be down.
Right.
So I hit up Violet. Let me see if I still have the
actual message.
message.
Game Reconize
Pause.
Game. We might have the message here. We might have the message. Let's see. Well, while you look for that, I don't know. I know you can walk and chew gum at the same time. So we'll get back to that. Having a girlfriend now,
going from
well,
that to girlfriend is crazy.
It is crazy, but that's what we do here. So the reason why I asked that is because does she see any of those older videos and older streams when you were doing that, and what is her thoughts on that?
She's definitely talked to me about it, but I try to explain to her like it was just just for views and stuff like that. I never really like seeked these girls in any other way other than making YouTube content that is pleasing for a viewer. But I know I tell her all the time, like, even though like I follow these girls on social media, and no disrespect to these girls, but all of your accounts are muted on my social medias.
You better tell them.
So on Twitter, I don't see any of your posts. I don't see any of their pictures or anything like that.
Smart man.
Yeah. So all respect to you guys, but that is just how I want my
do it.
feed to look,
That's how you got to do it, especially when you're not just living for yourself, you're living for a significant other. You kind of got to allow her to be comfortable.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No. And I know how it looks. I know how it looks. Like, you go to my profile, I'm following all these girls, but I mean, nothing, absolutely nothing is happening.
Okay. And there's a question that I wanted to ask you, but I'm gonna respect your girlfriend and not ask you. But you kind of answered it right now anyway. Because there's a question that people really, really want to know, and you know what it is. But I'm not gonna ask the question.
Ask it.
I can ask it.
Go ahead, ask it.
All right. So we were talking about Violet Myers, and we seen Violet Myers in a few different videos.
Yeah.
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 A lot of people want to know.
No, nothing ever happened.
Nothing ever
I get, dude. I still get those messages and stuff in my streams today.
Yeah, they're asking about Violet, or
Yes.
just adult film actors in general.
Adult film actresses in general.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And it's crazy, and that was
and I don't beat around the bush. I'm just like, no, bro, no.
Right.
No.
Right. Because you see not only her but other girls making I did this with a fan, and that's kind of like where that kind of comes from. People always want to know that, and I remember
all that stuff is fabricated, bro. They don't.
Right.
They
of
don't,
course, I know because I'm a grown man that partaketh in
Live Jasmine.
Live Jasmine. Oh, we know about my
if
clips.
You know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. No, but a lot of times people just really, really want to know those sorts of things. So I figure, like that was one question when people were asking me about getting you on, because you're the second most requested interview, obviously outside of Swagg, because people always think me and Swagg got some kind of beef. But outside of Swagg, you were the second most requested. And if you see my DMs about ask him this, ask him that, and I'm like, you know what? I wasn't gonna ask because, like I said, I want to respect your woman. I want to respect your relationship.
My girl knows what it is. I hold it down. She holds it down. So
as you should. So I know another question that people want to know. There you go.
No, I'm just playing.
We just broke news right here on the Game Reconize Game Podcast. Nah, y'all saw what he did. Y'all saw what he did.
I stole this ring from her and I wear it on my ring finger, bro.
I love that. So I know a lot of people wanted to ask this question, and I'm sure you kind of went over it, but I want to ask, just because it's on my podcast, what made you decide to go in a different direction from doing the adult film actresses?
The higher ups.
The higher ups.
The higher ups.
They came to you and was like, that's not a good look.
They hit their
the gavel. They hit the gavel.
Said,
nah,
no, not anymore.
Damn.
And it was like, how does this look to sponsorships and everything like that? So I really had to have a talk with myself. Like, damn, even though this shit is
banging,
popping on YouTube, like the views are popping. No sponsorships are gonna go after me because of what I put out,
right,
and how I portray myself. Even though I want to say the videos I was putting out very vanilla. I was making ice cream sundaes. I was going shoe shopping, stuff like that. It wasn't even anything bad, but I do understand.
Yeah, because perception is everything.
Perception is everything,
especially when you're in a position to get in contact with a lot of these super mega companies that you're in contact with now. You guys got the Porsche, and at one point you guys had Nissan, you guys had all these things. So I definitely understand that, the AT&Ts and all of those things.
McDonald's, also
McDonald's, all of that stuff. So I definitely, perception is everything when it comes to that stuff. So what made you decide to go the food route?
Man, I'm a big boy, man. I'm a big boy, and it's easy because I don't do just like the food reviews. I like making my videos into like mini vlogs. So I'll start them here. We get in the car, we go, we order our stuff, then we review it. But I mean, it was just like I like trying different foods. Like, even if it's not like fast food or anything like that, I want to start trying Brazilian food, more Puerto Rican food, Middle Eastern food, anything that has to do with like different cultured foods. I would love to get into.
That's a great lane for you to be in, because you don't box yourself in, which is one thing that I super respected about you. Again, like I said, you inspired me to even be doing this, seeing you go in a different lane and not being boxed into what people said you should be. And becoming what they call a quote unquote an actual content creator, instead of being a COD player or being a adult film actress or being a food reviewer. You're all encompassing.
Yeah, I'm testing the waters with a lot of things. I'm starting to do like Let's Plays and stuff like that. And even though it doesn't work, that I wanna try and break that barrier to where it can work in the future. So I'm getting ideas from my editor, creating different channels. We can put stuff on this channel, put stuff on that channel. I really want to try and expand everything that I'm doing.
And when you do that, you will never be boxed in. And you don't, as a content creator, you want to be boxed in. You want to be able to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you this. If I say the date 3/23/21, what does that mean to you?
3/23/21. That was when it's close to my birthday. Is that our announcement? Is that when we joined FaZe?
It is when you joined FaZe.
Yeah.
3/23/21 is when you joined FaZe. And I know we spoke about it earlier. FaZe kind of just changed your life.
Yeah, 100%.
And when you say that FaZe changed my life, can you describe what that means to you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been places that I never thought I'd be. I've met people I never thought I'd meet. I've been able to, provide for my family.
Yes.
Not only just me, but for my family, my mom, my sister. Working at the school like a couple of years ago, I was barely able to provide for myself.
I remember that.
So I think, just all that in together, I mean, yeah, it changed my life.
And speaking of your sister, there was a special moment that I saw that really touched my heart.
What was that?
It was when you bought your sister a car.
Oh, yes. Yes, that was.
What did that feel like, bro? Being able to buy your sister a car, bro.
It felt so good. And then I didn't buy her no BMW or Mercedes or anything like that. But it just felt the world to be able to do that, especially the circumstances. I don't know if you remember.
I do.
But my sister's car was stolen.
Yeah.
And the next day I said, "We're getting you a car." And I got her in a car.
That's so amazing to be able to be in a position to not only provide for yourself, but to provide for family.
Yeah, I remember my mom calling me, like, panicking, crying. Michaela's car just got stolen. I'm like, relax. I'm in a position where I can help you. let's, you know, instead of looking at the bad things, let's look at the good. She's safe.
Yeah.
No one's hurt.
Yeah.
And, you know, things like these are replaceable.
Yeah.
So let's look at something. And the next day we found a car for my sister.
I absolutely love that. And the thing that made me mad the most, people shitting on you for buying your sister a car.
Yeah,
you
can't make everyone happy.
That when I say that physically made me mad, bro. Mm-hmm. When I saw some of the comments under that tweet, bro, I was like, I want to fight people.
Yeah. How do you think I felt? You know, but you gotta look at it like you can't make everybody happy. Very There's true. Always gonna be trolls and stuff on the internet. And even though sometimes I do react, I've learned to hold back.
Right. So because you get a lot of people trolling you with stuff like, you know, the situation with your sister. And one of the things that always makes me mad too is people think just because you know Swagg and they like, oh, if it wasn't for Swagg, you wouldn't be where you are. That thing, you know why that pisses me off? I'm going to tell you why that pisses me off. Because they're acting like Swagg holds your hand with every single thing that you do.
Everything, yeah, man. These people act like Chris has a gun to these people's heads and you going, yo, watch this guy. Watch this guy. Every stream, you better tune in.
Right.
Every stream. No. Even though Chris, you know, helped us, you know, build a fan base, it's up to the people to decide whether they want to continue to watch you, continue to support you, and everything like that. So, I mean, yeah, we're very thankful, but he did not do everything.
No, and that was the point that I was getting to. Like, the people that say, yo, Chris, if it wasn't for Chris, XYZ. Now, obviously, he did help you because that's what your boy is supposed to do. If he's in a position, he's supposed to help you get in position.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you have to stay in the position.
Stay in that position.
And that's the same thing that I was talking to with Jay the other day when I was here. You know, when he got rated by Nick Mertz, it was like, oh, people think automatically he's a big streamer because Nick Mertz rated him. No, he still had to hit go live every day, just like you. You still got to hit go live every day. You still have to entertain every single day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And one thing that's super entertaining that I love that you do outside of the food content, bro, the RP. When you got an RP, oh my goodness.
CJ, I have CJ Brooks. I had Dom Grady.
Yes.
I have Dominic Brooks, who is CJ's brother, who is investigating his brother's death and can't find his body. Dude, GTA RP is insane. And you know, a lot of people tell me like, oh, you just a GTA RP streamer now. Right. Bro, that is what my community wanted. They wanted that. Yeah. Like, I mean, I remember telling them no. Like, I don't know how it's gonna go. Like, all I see was, yo, you should try GTA RP. I'm like, guys, I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't even think that's like my lane.
Right.
Started it, fell in love with it. Was doing like 10, 11, 12-hour streams.
Oh, bro, you were popping.
RPing. And then it's like, it's something that I love playing.
Right. And it gives you a chance to show your personality, like what you're doing now, but it gives you a chance to show your personality outside of just being a sniper on Call of Duty or killing 30 people, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, you know, you used to remember back in the day, you used to call yourself the glue. And I always wondered what you meant by that. Now I understand what you mean by that. Because the glue guy, like you put it in NBA terms, the glue guy is somebody that's going to dive on the floor for a loose ball. Yeah. He's going to get you 10, 15, 20 rebounds. But don't get it twisted because he's still a shooter and he'll still get you 30.
Yeah.
You're one of the most well-rounded content creators, bro. Like, you know.
Appreciate it.
No, and that's why I say, bro, you're super inspiring to me. Not only to me, but the people that watch you every day. You know, they love seeing you, bro. Sometimes I'll sit in your stream and I won't type. Mm-hmm. And I just watch you. And I'm like,
wow.
And I'm
You're
like,
a lurker.
Yeah, I'm a lurker.
We love the lurkers.
Yeah, we love the lurkers.
We fuck with them.
I watch you, and I'm like, bro, this guy got it. Like, when I say you got it, like, there's this thing, you know, in Hollywood where they call it, well, he has the it factor. And nobody can quantify what it is, but when you see it, you know it. And that's what you have. You know, you got a big personality. You can get 30 kills on Call of Duty if you want to. You know, you can do the dirty work, right? You live in LA, you're a handsome guy. Not only that, now you're trimming down, getting yourself into shape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The boxing and
doing
shit.
The boxing. And I think it's so great. I think that's so great, bro.
Yeah, thank you. But going back to, you know, I felt like I was always a well-rounded, you know, content creator. There's always people asking me, you know, do you have to be good at a game to be a good streamer? Do you have to be funny or any? If you as a person have a little bit of everything, you can't go wrong. Like I can make content in anything I play because I can either be good at the game or I can just be funny and make dumb clips or something like that. So if you have both, I mean, you're meant for the space. But I mean, you know, there's people who aren't, you know, very talkative, you know, like Booyah or Diaz Biffle that are super good at the game, and people still watch them because they're really fucking good.
Yeah, demons.
And then you have me, who's, you know, not so good at the game, but I'm fun.
No. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna downplay that you're not good at the game. Now you're probably not on Diaz, Biffle, and Booyah's level, but you're still out here. You can get bodies.
I still be slaying.
You know, and that's why I think that you're, you know, one of the most well-rounded content creators, like you said earlier, is because you can drop 30, but you can also be funny. You can also be entertaining, and you can get off of Call of Duty, go play RP, or go do these other things and still be successful.
Yeah.
Right. So I do want to take a step back, right? I want to backtrack a little bit. What year was it that you actually started making content?
Holy shit. Like YouTube content?
Yeah.
It might have been I wanted to say like around Verdansk, but I was streaming and posting stuff on YouTube when I was like with Korean and everything. I was playing Fortnite and posting videos on there and stuff like that. I want to say 2017.
2017, okay.
2017?
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know the backstory behind, you know, what it took for you to get here. Right? Because, you know, we used to, like I said, we used to sit in Discord for hours. Yeah. And I remember, you know, and I had the similar conversation with Chris. I remember when you were trying to make the decision, like, do I go and do this thing, or do I do what I want? Do I do what my parents want me to do? Yeah. What was that conversation like, discussing with your parents?
Man,
that I wanted to be a content creator.
It was one of the hardest conversations to strike up, but once it like got going, they kind of understood like this is his lane, like he can do it. So, at the time I was going to school. I was in college. Yeah. I was working at a school, and then I was like, you know, streaming a little bit after. I don't know if you remember the nights
I
where
do remember those nights.
Yo, you getting on? Nah, I have a paper due. Bro, I can't tell you how many times I missed streaming because I had papers I had to write. Yep. So my schedule was like 6 a.m. wake up, go to work from 6 a.m. to 11, get off, and I would have like a little break. Now, I'm not a morning person, so when I would get off, I would go home. I would either get on the game and play a little bit and maybe throw up a stream, or I was just napping until I had to go back to work at like 2 to 6, get off of work, go home, do whatever homework or papers I needed to write, and then if I had time, I would hop on stream. Now, if I hopped on stream after I was doing my homework, I wouldn't get off till stream till like 1, 2 in the morning. And then I'm up at 6 a.m. again. So I was exhausted. And I was just like, I can't keep doing this. I gotta pick and choose. And at the time, I wasn't streaming much, but I would see a lot of people in Chris's chat, you know, who's this? Like, just, you know, hearing my voice, and I like this person. Who is this? Does he stream? Where's his stream? And I was like, damn, maybe I should try it out. And I went and got my first PC at Best Buy, and I was super pumped. I had my first PC, even though it was complete trash. I used like my credit to get it. It was like $600 or something like that. Right. And I just went for it, and I started, you know, gaining a little bit of a fan base. You know, Chris at the time was pulling pretty good numbers because of like Ground War and Warzone like that. And then I really had a discussion with myself where I wanted to drop out of school, quit my job, and just go straight into streaming. And I remember having a discussion with my mom at the time, because I only live with my mom and my sister. And I told my mom, what did I tell her? I told her, what would you do if I started doing this, streaming stuff? And she said, you can do it. Like you can quit your job. You can quit your job and do it, but you're not dropping out of school.
Right.
At the time, I had already dropped out of school and quit my job.
Right.
Like,
so you already did that.
I already did that.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit. Like, how do I tell her? I said, well, Mom, what would you do if I dropped out of school? And she goes, well, you better pack your bags and find somewhere else to live. No, she said, well, you better find somewhere else to live. And I told my mom, well, I guess I better pack my bags because I already dropped out of school and I quit my job and I'm doing this streaming shit. Right. And she was like very surprised, but she wasn't mad. She wasn't mad.
Right. And that just goes to show you what having support will do, because it was in that moment, could have really made your streaming career go this way, or it could have made your streaming career go this way.
Could have never happened.
It could have never happened if she would have been mad at you and shunned you for trying to do that, because a lot of parents, they think they know what's best for their children. Like, nah, that's not gonna work for you.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about what time they grew up. You know, it was from high school. You go to college, you get a job, and that was pretty much it. Yeah. Nowadays, a lot of parents don't know, like, there's a lot of money to be made in like social media and, content creating and stuff like that. So, I mean, I understood where my parents are coming from, but my parents have always been the type to be very supportive in what I do, and I'm blessed to have a family like that. Yes, so it wasn't that hard of a switch.
So so we don't know, but I'm gonna ask. So when you finally told her and you said, well, I guess I better pack my bags, did she make you move out? Did you have to move out?
No,
I know you did. I know you did. Because, we were talking back then. So
she was never the one to kick me out or threaten to kick me out or anything. She was just giving me a hard time. But I did get kicked out of my dad's house a couple of times.
Was that not for streaming though, right?
No.
So
actually,
we got to hear that story.
I don't think I've ever told anybody this story. Actually,
here we go. Game Reconize Game.
This is a first.
Exclusive right here.
So I think the breaking point of me living with my dad and me moving out was he was out of town one time with his girlfriend at the time, and I was all alone at home. Well, my friend KJ, the one who beat me up when I was younger because I was playing games, he said, let's go out. And I said, all right, cool. So we went to this place called Jaguars. Okay. It is a strip club in El Paso.
Okay.
And so I go there, have a great night, have fun. And I walk outside and I don't see my car anywhere. I can't find my car. So I'm going up to the bouncers and shit, asking them, yo, you seen a car? And they're like, oh, yeah, there was a car that got towed. It was parked in the wrong spot. Well, it was my car. So I asked for a ride home from my friends. They take me home. And I'm panicking because my dad, I think, gets home either later that day or the next day. So I'm like trying, damage control. I'm like thinking, all right, what can I do? I call my mom. She tells me to go to her house and we'll figure out where my car was towed. I can't get to her house because I don't have a car to drive. Right. But my dad does, and he has a nice Camaro in the garage. Ooh. But the thing about that was his girlfriend's car was parked kind of behind outside the garage. So I would have to, work my way out. Okay. Well, everything was going smooth, I thought. Got it out clean. I was like, damn, I'm him. Right. I'm like this. I'm like looking at the back, making sure I'm not hitting the car in the back. Well, the whole time there was these two bikes hanging down on the side of the garage, scratching along the car. There wasn't, I'm over exaggerating. It was like a little scratch and there was a dent. And I'm like, oh my God, my life is over. It's over. I'm done. I get the car. I drive to my mom's house. We locate my car. We go to the tow thing, pay everything, get my car out. And I'm not risking putting the car back in the garage, so I just leave it outside. So my dad gets home either later that day or the next day, and the first thing he says, and the first thing I hear, I'm upstairs. Why the fuck is my car outside the garage? And I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
Right.
So I walk down, I try to explain, and I'm just like stumbling on my words, mumbling all that. And he goes, there better not be a fucking scratch on this car.
So naturally he goes and looks.
Yeah, and before he can find it, I go, there's a scratch and a dent on the right side fender. And he goes, get the fuck out of my face. Bro, I left without shoes. I left my phone. I grabbed my keys, and I drove to my cousin's house. And after that, I was just like, I can't live there anymore. I can't live there anymore. My dad is the type to, like, blow things out of proportion and just explode. And I was like, I can't live here anymore.
Right.
So I moved with my mom. But that was one of the craziest days of my life, bro. I thought my dad was gonna kill me.
I can only imagine. What kind of Camaro was it? Do you remember?
It was an RS. It was nice, you know.
Right.
It was nice.
Yeah, but you know, people like that, and I don't know your pops. I never met him, but people like that, man. When it comes to those older cars, bro, they love those things. You know what I mean? They absolutely love those things. That's so funny.
It was bad, man. It was bad.
Man. So now we're gonna get back into the gaming thing. So you join FaZe, you're traveling all these places, you're doing all these things. And the one thing, and this is what I talked to Jay and I talked to Chris about, giving back to the community. Not necessarily just your community, but just giving back in general. And that seems to be very important to you guys. Not only you individually, but you guys as a group, you know, as far as, you know, FaZe Clan, as far as Nuke Squad. Why is that so important to you?
I think it just shows appreciation of all the support that we've had throughout the years. I mean, we've had multiple merch drops, and every time, you know, people go crazy and show their support. And then when I'm looking at their orders, I'm like, damn, you spent $300 on some Nuke Squad merch?
Right.
Like, fuck.
Right.
I would never. No, so giving back to them is just, you know, a very, you know, important thing to us when we're able to do like giveaways, like scuff giveaways, even like Ghost Energy, stuff like that. You know, we do a lot of those. And even though it's not, you know, the craziest thing, it's not like PCs or anything. I know we've done like a couple, but I mean, it's just the little things, you know.
Yes,
that count. So
definitely so. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a major thing all the time, but just having a wherewithal and the thought to, like, you know what, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for these people. Let me give back, because not everybody does that. Not everybody think that's important. And one thing that I know about you guys all individually, but also as a group, is that that's important to you guys, because you remember where you came from. And that's super, super important to always remember where you came from, and don't turn your back on the community, because you see all these people.
Without them, you got nothing, man.
And I see these things on Twitter all the time about people like shitting on their community. It's like, how dare you?
Yeah, no.
How dare you do that?
Could never be me.
Right. So, like, you know, I got to get a little messy right now. The situation with FaZe. What is your thoughts on that?
Bro, I'm going to be 100% honest. I am not in a position. I don't have the experience to even, you know, give my input on that. I am worrying about, you know, me,
as you should,
my family.
Yes, sir.
And that is it right now. How I can make myself better as a content creator, how I can make myself better as a streamer. And if shit goes down, I need to be able to, you know, provide without a FaZe name, or if worse comes to worse. But I mean, other than that, I'm just head down. Focus.
That's the answer that you better say. You know what I mean? And we'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna say anything else about it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to get you in trouble. They already cracked the whip on you that one time. I would not incriminate myself. Nah, you bet not. I tried it though, didn't I? I tried it. Look, I tried it. You know,
you did.
Being a podcast host. You see, now I'm a podcast host. I tried it.
Because even though you're my friend, you know, you gotta ask those questions.
I gotta ask those questions. Exactly. You know, I tried it. You know. Can't fault me from trying it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but so as far as like Nuke Squad is concerned, right? What's next for the Nuke Squad?
Well, I mean, we want to try and get a new member. I know we've all talked about it, but it's just the process of trying to find who can fit right with us. We were thinking about Nadia, but I'm not gonna get into that.
Hey, you don't have to get into it because
shit just went, didn't go through.
It's funny. Not funny, haha, but funny, ironic. I knew when she moved in here, I was like, okay, this is setting up for something. And when I came here the first time to do Chris's interview, right? I'm not gonna say who I asked because I'm not gonna throw that person under the bus. I was like, oh, I want to see about maybe because I don't know Nadia, but I wanted to try to interview her, right? And the person, I was like, yo, is Nadia here? And that person was like, he just gave me a look. Being who I am, I know what that look means.
You know what that look is.
I know what that look is. And I never got into the story. I never asked.
No, yeah.
But I said, oh, okay.
No, I'm not gonna get into it.
No, you don't
like
have
that.
to,
But
right.
Shit just didn't go through. She's still killing it, and she's doing her thing, man. So
okay. So outside of Nadia, so are you saying right now that the mindset has to be a female, or is it just somebody that just vibes with you?
Somebody that just fits, man.
Right.
That doesn't mind, getting up, making videos for the Nuke Squad. Doing their own thing. Someone's that knows the scene. What they got to do to elevate their game and stuff like that. So.
Right. And I think that's so amazing because just like FaZe changed all of your lives, when that person joins, whoever that person might be, whenever that time comes, it's gonna change their life.
Yeah, 100%.
And I love these full circle moments. You know what I mean? Where again, it goes back to like you giving back to the community, even if it's a known streamer or maybe a lesser known person. Like just being able to put somebody in position like you were put in the position is so dope to me.
No, yeah.
And and I said this earlier, you one of them ones, bro. Like just from a totality, is that the right word? Totality standpoint.
I don't even know what word you're trying to use right now. I'm gonna be honest.
Like in total is what I'm trying to say. From a totality, I don't know if that's the right
Fatality.
word.
I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Finish him.
Hey, why you cook me, bro? What's up with you?
Hey.
No,
I didn't want to use the word. I ain't using them big ass words.
Right. So from a broader scale, how about that?
That's great.
There you go.
That's great.
From a broader scale, I forgot what I was saying now. This is what happens when you interview your friends. You know what I mean? This is what happens when you interview your friends.
No, this is great. This is great.
That's what I was saying, bro. You're just one of them ones from a totality. That's the word. Like I tried it again. No, you're just one of them ones from, being a content creator, being a humble person, being a good person. Like, and I think that's why people fuck with you and people will continually fuck with you. And that's why like I said, I reached out to you to be the first person on the podcast. It didn't happen. But
my fault. My fault.
But we're here today. We're not looking at what happened back then. We're looking at today. We're moving forward from today on. You know what I mean? And, it's one thing that I always say about you. I like to call you like one of the four horsemen. And I don't mean
crazy.
because of that. Okay.
That's crazy.
What I mean by that is like, you're one of the people that I look at when it comes to like fashion, right? Like when you go somewhere, you put that shit on. You know what I mean?
I try and look
at it's like some of the people that I look to is yourself. My homegirl Jay Chalet, she be putting that shit on. She be putting that shit on, bro.
Okay.
Shady G, he also be
Yep.
He also
Shady,
be putting that shit on too. Myself, I
do.
a little something light. You know what I'm saying? A little something light. You know what I mean?
Comfy right now.
Yeah.
Comfy.
But where do you get your fashion sense from?
You know what? A lot of my fashion, like when I buy shit, has been coming through like Instagram ads. Like I'll see some like I'm scrolling through people's like stories, just tapping,
right?
And I'll see some shit, and I'm like, oh damn, like I look kind of fire. Let me look into that shit,
right?
And I don't know. It's just like something that I've always wanted to get into, like clothes and stuff.
Right.
But back then I didn't have like the money, so
Right.
like I'm a big shoe collector. You know
Yeah,
that.
I do know that.
And some like clothes. It doesn't even have to be like the most expensive shit. Like
Right.
if I see something and I like it, I'm gonna wear it.
Right.
So
Yeah, bro. And you and I, and that's how I know you have a sense for fashion, because you and I, share some of the same pieces. Like you have some things that I have, or sometimes like I'm gonna tell you this. Don't let it get to your head, bro. Sometimes I see you wear stuff, I'm like, oh, I gotta get that.
Nah, I'm looking at your fit right now, like, damn, where you get these pants from, bro? Where you get them flared bottoms from?
You feel me? I'll let you know. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you know a little.
Nah, but another thing is, people gotta learn how to layer.
Very true.
Layering is very important.
It is.
You gotta know how to layer.
Yes, sir.
Whether you're wearing a hoodie all day, you gotta understand that it might get hot, so you gotta take something off. And
yes, sir.
if you're not ready,
right,
you can be looking like a goofball.
Right, straight up. Speaking of being ready, the one thing that we didn't really get a chance to talk about before I let you go is your fitness journey. What made you decide that you wanted to go on this journey? Was it because you moved to LA, or is it just like, you know what, I just really need to do this?
I think it was just a second option. Really needed to do it, man. I started my fitness journey before I got to LA, but it wasn't as serious. I was lifting, but I wasn't, doing anything that was, getting me the actual sweat. I wasn't really putting in like work like that. I was gaining muscle. I was able to lift a lot, but you asked me to go run a fucking mile, it might take me 13, 14 minutes.
Right.
So when I got to LA, I met Ty, our trainer. Yeah. Changed my life. One of the many people that have, made a real big impact on my life. And he got us like the Nuke Squad in the gym, and we started working. And I used to weigh like over 300 pounds, and now I'm down to like 240, something like that. So I've come a long way, even though it's taken a long time. It's all been worth it. If you guys are starting that fitness journey, a lot of people have different results in different time periods, different spans of time. So don't, get discouraged or anything, and just have fun with it. Do something that you put your mind to it, and it doesn't like really feel like you're working out. When I box, it doesn't feel like, oh, damn, I'm going in for another workout. I look at it as like I'm learning something new. Today I'm learning a different, combination, or I'm learning how to defend myself. But at the same time, I'm sweating like a dog. It's the most fun thing, and it's one of the best workouts that I've ever done. And I'm going to continue to grow. And who knows? Maybe I'll fight somebody in the future.
Oh, that would be so fire, bro.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
To see you in the content creator box, bro.
That's what I'm aiming for. But right now, it's just a great workout.
Yeah. Who's that guy that was on Twitter that was talking crazy to you?
Bad Boy Beeman.
Bad Boy Beeman. Is that somebody you would want to fight?
I would. Just give me maybe a year or two.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go in. I'm not gonna step in the ring and look like a dumbass,
right?
Bro. Be unprepared. Just give me some time,
right?
And maybe
bro,
we'll
I could
come
see.
up with something.
I could see that though, like because you're what are you about 6'3"?
6'2", 6'3",
6'2",
yeah.
6'3". You get down to about 2. You get down to
bro,
about
I want to
220.
get down to like 220,
yeah,
215,
bro.
bro.
Ooh, that'd be so fire, bro.
I take
out here.
No, not many people have seen my boxing workouts, but I really like take that shit serious.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
I love that.
Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When I like mess up, I get mad because I know I shouldn't be messing up, but I really do take that shit serious.
Like I said earlier, sometimes I see some of the things that you do, and I'm like, oh, I should try that, bro. When you started the boxing thing, you may or may not have saw a couple of clips that I put up, but I started doing boxing because of you.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, you know what? Like, I went through my health thing, with the cancer and all of that. And I was working out with Ty, and he got me in such good shape, bro. And it wasn't even about like looking super muscular, but like when I first started with him, bro, I was like, you couldn't tell, but I was like 207, 208 when I first started with him. And what made me even do that, go on my fitness journey, because I saw a picture of myself and my face looked so fat. And I said, oh no. I said, oh no. And then, at the time I was, training with my shorty at the time, you know what I mean? And we ended up not training with Ty anymore. That's a whole nother story. But she kind of like pushed me into it, you know what I mean? To like train. And she was like trying to get me to train. And then I finally saw that picture of myself, and I said, nah, I got to change this. Yeah. And, you know, right now I'm sitting at I'm like 185. And, you know, it was because of Ty, you know, because of Shorty pushing me to meet Ty to train is where I'm at today. So I recognize, like, the hard work, the dedication that it takes to get up every day, especially on them days where you're fucking tired and you don't want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to have that dedication and to have that drive is super important, not only in boxing, but in everything. And you've always had that drive from coming from El Paso all the way to L.A. to becoming FaZe Santana. It takes drive, dedication, hard work, and a little luck sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it at all. All right, bro. I really appreciate you doing this, my brother. I really, really do, bro. This is one of the ones, like, all of my interviews are special, but like this one is like super close to my heart. You know what I mean? Because like you just somebody that I look at and that I want to give flowers to, because you've always been an inspiration to me, and you will continually be an inspiration to me and the other people that follow you. So there's a couple more questions I'm going to ask you before you go. One that I ask every Call of Duty content creator.
What's your favorite Call of Duty of all time?
Top 5 Call of Duties in order.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Damn. Okay, I'm gonna go Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yes, sir.
Black Ops 2.
Yes, sir.
Black Ops 1.
Yes, sir.
And BO3.
Bro, that is such a good list. And I'm so glad you said MW2.
You can interchange BO3 with BO1 for 4 and 5.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said NW2, because a lot of times the people that maybe weren't around back then, they don't say it like your boy. Your boy made me so mad when he didn't say
play it, bro.
I know,
there
but
to play it.
Still though. Still. He played MW3. You know what I mean? I remember he went back and played MW2 like, what was it, like a couple years ago? He was like, nah, this is terrible. No, bro, that's like the beginning of everything.
What did I say? I said
you said MW3, MW2, BO2, BO1, and BO3. That would be my list.
I'm gonna change.
Okay.
I'm gonna change BO2 and Modern Warfare 2. I like BO2 better than Modern Warfare 2.
It's your list. You know, I'm just glad to see that you have that OG mindset, and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna throw MW2 in there, because a lot of people don't throw it in there. They don't realize that
I was trick shotting back then. I was in sniper clans running, you know, sniper GBs on the weekends, bro. Right. I was doing it. Marathon sniping, lightweight sniping, you know, all that.
Love that. And the last thing I'm gonna say before we go, I saw the tweet that you put out today about Be Real. What was your clan? What was your first clan tag? Your first Gamertag. What was yours?
Oh, mine was very federal. When I played, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
Bro, my very first clan tag was Dante Santana 07. My whole government was
just out there.
Just out there. I didn't know what I was doing. I was creating online, but like when I started getting into the things, like it was like Exodia Styles when I joined like my first sniping clan.
Okay. And then we were talking about it off camera. I told you what mine was. Mine was Black Boy 83.
What made you do
bro,
that?
I don't know what my thought process was.
How old are you?
I was born in 83, so I'll be 40 this year.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Kevin Hart. Okay, Kevin Hart. Bro, I love you, bro. I really appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, brother. I really appreciate you. That has been the Dante Santana. Dante. That has been the FaZe Santana interview on the Game Reconize Game Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit that sub button. Turn on post notifications and be up to date with every single time we drop a new podcast. We drop them every Monday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Deuces.